Ever wondered about the roots of Spain, one of the world's most visited countries? Let's take a journey back in time where the story of this vibrant nation began. In the prehistoric period, the Iberian Peninsula, where modern-day Spain sits, was home to various cultures. Among them were the Iberians, a group of tribes known for their advanced metalworking skills. They thrived in the southern and eastern parts of the peninsula, leaving behind intricate sculptures and remarkable fortifications. But the Iberians weren't alone. To the north and west, the Celts, known for their warrior culture and artistic prowess, had settled. They brought with them their unique traditions and customs, many of which still linger in the Spanish culture today. Amidst this cultural tapestry, a new force emerged from the Mediterranean: the Romans. Drawn to the peninsula's rich resources, the Romans initiated a conquest in the late 3rd century BC. This was the start of a long and transformative occupation, a period that would forever reshape the face of the Iberian Peninsula. Over several centuries, the Romans managed to subdue the tribes and establish control, creating the province of Hispania. They built grand cities, roads, and aqueducts, several of which stand to this day, a testament to their architectural genius. They also introduced Latin, the precursor to the Spanish language. The Roman rule, however, was not just about infrastructural development. It was a period of cultural amalgamation. The Romans brought their laws, their religion, and their way of life, integrating them with the existing Iberian and Celtic cultures. This fusion would form the basis of the distinct Spanish identity. But, as with all great empires, Rome's influence began to wane. Around the 5th century AD, the Visigoths, a Germanic tribe, overran Hispania, marking the end of Roman rule. Yet the Roman legacy lived on, deeply ingrained in the fabric of Spanish society. Indeed, Spain's rich history began unfolding thousands of years ago, laying the foundation for the nation we know today. The Middle Ages brought about significant changes in Spain. Do you want to know how? Well, let's dive right in. The medieval era kicked off with the Visigothic kingdom holding the reins. The Visigoths, originally a Germanic tribe, ruled over the Iberian Peninsula for about 2 centuries. They brought with them a new wave of Arian Christianity, which was later replaced by Catholicism. Their rule, however, was not to last. By the early 8th century, a new power emerged on the horizon. The Muslims from North Africa invaded the Iberian Peninsula, marking the end of the Visigothic rule and the beginning of a new epoch. The Muslim invaders established Al-Andalus, a prosperous and culturally rich civilization that lasted for nearly 8 centuries. The influence of Al-Andalus was not limited to politics or economy, but extended to art, literature, science, and philosophy. Cordoba, the capital of Al-Andalus, was a beacon of enlightenment, hosting scholars from all corners of the world. But let's not forget, this was the Middle Ages, a time of flux and upheaval. As the Muslim rule flourished in the south, the north of the Iberian Peninsula witnessed the formation of various Christian kingdoms. These kingdoms, though fragmented, shared a common goal: the Reconquista, or the Reconquest. The Reconquista was a centuries-long struggle to reclaim the Iberian Peninsula from Muslim control. It was a time of epic battles, heroic sagas, and towering figures like El Cid who became symbols of Christian resistance. The cultural exchange during this period was immense. The fusion of Islamic, Christian, and Jewish traditions resulted in a unique cultural blend, known as convivencia. This coexistence, though often fraught with tension, resulted in a rich tapestry of cultures that continues to shape Spain's identity today. The medieval era was a time of conflict and coexistence, shaping Spain's identity in profound ways. Ever thought about how Spain became a global superpower? Well, let's take a step back and visit the late 15th century. During this time, 2 significant kingdoms, Castile and Aragon, were married in a union of power and influence. This bond, sealed by the marriage of Ferdinand of Aragon and Isabella of Castile, marked the birth of modern Spain, paving the way for a new era of exploration. In this age, Spain was not just looking inwards, but also outwards, towards the vast and mysterious seas. Among the many intrepid explorers of this era, the name Christopher Columbus stands out. Backed by the Spanish crown, Columbus embarked on a daring voyage in 1492 in search of a new route to Asia. But destiny had other plans. Columbus stumbled upon the New World, marking the beginning of Spanish colonization. This new era of discovery and colonization brought immense wealth to Spain. Gold, silver, and numerous other goods flooded into the country from the colonies, dramatically boosting Spain's economy. The Spanish crown was now not only ruling over its own lands, but also over vast territories in the Americas. Spain had become a global superpower. But this era was not just about exploration and wealth. It also saw the rise of the Spanish Inquisition, a notorious chapter in Spain's history. The Inquisition was a powerful tool for religious and political control used by the Spanish crown to maintain its dominance and to suppress dissent. Its long shadow fell not just on the Spanish mainland but also on the far-flung colonies, influencing the course of history in ways still felt today. The Age of Exploration marked Spain's golden age, with its influence stretching far beyond its borders. Through exploration and colonization, Spain had not only expanded its territories but also left an indelible mark on the world, shaping cultures and civilizations far and wide. This was the era that truly put Spain on the global map. How did Spain transform into the democratic nation it is today? Picture this. The early 18th century, Spain was embroiled in the War of Spanish Succession, a conflict that had profound consequences for the country's future. The war effectively ended the Habsburg dynasty in Spain, replacing it with the Bourbon dynasty, which continues to reign to this day. But the transition wasn't easy, and it came with a hefty price tag, the loss of several colonies and a bruised national ego. Fast forward a few decades, and Spain found itself in the crosshairs of another major power, this time Napoleonic France. The invasion and subsequent occupation of Spain in the early 19th century was a turning point. It was a moment of both crisis and opportunity, as it led to the creation of a liberal constitution, but also unleashed a wave of revolts in Spain's remaining colonies, leading to the loss of most of its overseas empire. Now let's leap into the 20th century, a period of great upheaval for Spain. The Spanish Civil War, a brutal and bloody conflict, tore the nation apart in the late 1930s. This was followed by the long and oppressive dictatorship of Francisco Franco, a period marked by severe political repression and economic isolation. Yet Spain's story doesn't end there. Following Franco's death in 1975, the country embarked on a peaceful transition to democracy, a process known as the Spanish Miracle. Today, Spain is a parliamentary monarchy with a vibrant political scene and robust protections for civil liberties. But let's not forget, Spain's modern identity is also deeply rooted in its past. Its diverse cultural heritage, stemming from its Roman, Muslim, and Christian influences, continues to shape its society and way of life. So how did Spain transform into the democratic nation it is today? Through resilience, a willingness to evolve, and an unwavering commitment to its rich cultural heritage. Through trials and tribulations, Spain has emerged as a modern democratic nation proud of its rich heritage. Spain's history is a tapestry of cultures, conflicts, and conquests. But what are the key takeaways? Let's journey back in time and revisit the salient points. Our story began with the origins of Spain, a land that has been inhabited since prehistoric times. The Iberian Peninsula, as it was then known, was a melting pot of diverse cultures, each leaving a distinct imprint on the landscape. From the ancient Iberians to the Celts and the Romans, each civilization contributed to the rich tapestry that would eventually form Spain. Fast forward to the medieval era, a time of knights and castles, a period marked by the Reconquista. The Muslim Moors and Christian kingdoms battled for dominance, shaping the religious, cultural, and political landscape of the country. The result? An amalgamation of cultures, creating a unique blend of Moorish and Christian influences seen in Spain today. Next, we delved into the Age of Exploration. Spain emerged as a global superpower, its explorers charting new territories and expanding its empire. The discovery of the New World by Christopher Columbus in 1492, under the patronage of the Catholic monarchs, was a game-changer. It not only opened up new horizons for trade and colonization, but also cemented Spain's position on the world stage. Then we touched upon modern Spain, a period of tumult and transition, marked by civil war, dictatorship, and eventually democracy. Despite the trials and tribulations, Spain's resilience shone through. The country emerged stronger, transforming itself into a vibrant cosmopolitan nation that it is today. Throughout its history, Spain's cultural diversity and resilience have been its hallmarks. Each era, each conflict, each conquest has added a new thread to the tapestry, making it richer, more colorful, more nuanced. From prehistoric times to the present, Spain's history is a testament to the spirit of its people, a nation shaped by its past, yet always looking towards the future.